All right, so let's go through this example to see, and understand what a Turing machine is doing. I've written out the 7 lines of a program. So there are 7 program lines here. Notice I'm starting them with L, so L1 through L7. Program lines are not necessarily going to execute in order. Okay? So it's not this happens first, this happens second. It's just each one of these is one of the lines of the program, and we could jump around between them depending on what state that we're in. In addition to the program itself, we also have to say how the tape starts out, and then where the tape head starts out. So let's do the tape and the tape head. So our tape is going to start out blank, except with the special starting symbol in the leftmost square. And then our tape head, just the same way I was doing with the program counter in the previous example. That was an arrow from the left to the right, pointing where we were in the program. The tape head is just going to be pointing up. It's where we are, in the Turing machine. It's where we're looking at the tape. So tape and tape head, and there's going to be additional squares on the tape head that are going to start out all blank, except for the first one. I'm going to put some symbol X in. This X is going to be a binary number. X is either going to be 0 or 1. So we're going to think of this whole program as computing some function f of the input number x, whether it's 0 or 1. The state that we start in is always Q sub s. That's the special starting state. And then we're going to play the role of the state control the same way that we played the role of the program counter in the intuitive pseudocode example. So if we're the state control, we're looking at where the program counter is, which we're now calling the tape head. And I know that we're in the state Q sub s. So I'm looking for a program line where I'm in the current state QS, and I'm looking at a symbol on the tape square, which is this right-facing arrow. And that would be the first program line. Okay? So this is QS, that's the state we're in. This is the symbol that we're looking at. So therefore, I'm going to execute this line L1. That's what the state control would do. So let's execute program line L1. Now let's do that. So what does line L1 say to do? It says, this is the current state you're in. I want you to change to the state Q1. All right, so let's change to the state Q1. Easy enough. And then it says, write this symbol into the current square that you're looking at. Well, that's the symbol that's already there, so we're not going to change that symbol. Okay? So we did that. And the last thing it says to do is to move the program counter, move the tape head, over to the right one. So we did +1, meaning positive direction to the right. So let's draw another tape head. This symbol didn't change. I've moved the counter, the tape head, once to the right. And this is the new state of the tape that we're in. Okay? So now as a question to you all, I'm now in the state Q1, and I'm looking at a symbol X, which is either 0 or 1. Which program line should be executed next? Let me simplify a little bit, because we don't have X in our alphabet. We're using it to either represent 0 or 1. So let's suppose X was 0. What program line would we execute in that case?
2.
Line 2, exactly right. State Q1, looking at a 0. Okay? And if X was the symbol 1, then I would execute program line 3 in the state Q1, looking at a symbol 1. So in this case, depending on what X is, we're either going to execute L2, or L3. Okay? In either case, we're going to keep the state at Q1. We're keeping the state in Q1. And what we're going to do is write a blank into that square. So we're going to erase x and write a blank into that square. So that square is now blank. And then the last thing it tells me to do in both cases is move the tape head one square to the right. Okay? So hopefully you're starting to get the hang of it now. It's a lot of sort of overhead and formalism, but you just have to go slow through this and say, okay, what state am I in? What am I looking at? Find the right program line, and then do what the program line is telling you to do. So there's just a few more that we have to execute to finish this program to get to the halting state. So let's continue on. Right now I'm in the state Q1. I'm looking at a blank square. That's line 4. In the state Q1, looking at a blank square. So I'm going to change the state to Q2. I'm going to keep the symbol blank, and then I'm going to move 1 to the left. So same tape, wrote a blank, didn't change anything, move the tape head 1 to the left. Does everyone agree? All right. So we've executed line 4. Now, I'm in the state Q2. I'm looking at a blank symbol. So I'm going to execute line 5. Execute line 5. What does line 5 tell me to do? Well, it says keep the state in Q2. All right, easy enough. And then it also says keep the symbol to be blank. Great, I don't have to do anything. And then move 1 square to the left. So I've moved 1 square to the left. I've executed line 5. Now I'm in the state Q2. I'm looking at our special leftmost symbol, so that's the arrow. So I see that in line 6, so I'm going to execute line 6. Line 6 tells me to change the state to a new one. Great, that's fun. So now I'm in the state Q3. Let me try to keep this spaced well. So now I'm in the state Q3. Keep the same symbol there. Move 1 to the right. All right, can do that. So arrow, tape head is moved 1 to the right. And now you see that we're in the state Q3, and I'm looking at a blank symbol. So I'm going to change to QH. Awesome, that's the halting state. Now I know I'm going to be done. And the last thing I'm going to do is write a symbol into that square. I'm going to write a 1 into that square. There's the 1. And then the tape head moves 0 squares, so it stays where it is. So in the previous step, I executed L7. And now because I'm in the halting state, I halt. Okay? So that's the process. Again, just go slow, look at what state you're in, and find the program line that's telling you to do it. In this example, most of the program lines were executed in order, but remember, that doesn't have to happen. Program lines could execute in any order. Who could tell me what this program is doing? Thinking of it as a function of the input bit x and then what the output tape ended up being. It's not too interesting of a program. It's going to evaluate the function f of x equals 1. Right? Whatever x is, we've ended up with 1. So this we could think of as the sort of the Turing machine, which evaluates this following function. F, whatever the input is, the output is 1.